This is Josh Ward, and this is Real Life, Real Music.
Real Life, Real Music Radio with your host, Kyle Hutton.
Man, it's so good to have you back, and I know that here's the deal, and we're going to talk more about what's going on with you and how busy your life is now. But these guys had to park the bus up at Kroger in Montgomery, and they're going to go get on it after we do this show tonight, and they're going to go take this music, continue to spread it far outside of their hometown. But aren't we lucky to have them here with us tonight?
Thank you.
Well, Josh, you know how this thing goes. I'm going to ask you a bunch of questions, but I'm not going to ask you anything right now other than to play a song you want to play for us.
Play a song. Well, that's pretty easy right there. And thank y'all for being here, man.
Thanks, y'all. What you need in that cup?
One of them cold beers back there, if you would.
There you go. There you go.
Y'all drinking cold beer with us this evening?
So, Josh, the last time you and I were talking upstairs, and the last time you and I shared the stage here, it wasn't on this side.
No, it was over there.
It was over here on the other side. And if I remember right, you and Scott Brown, your buddy, were celebrating a pretty momentous occasion with a song that went #1, and a country music legend showed up and joined you on the stage, and I was just freaking out, being all fan guy on the side.
We were freaking out too, man.
Tell them about that night.
So me and Scott we were up here celebrating our very first #1 in Texas, and with a song that Scott had wrote, "Sent Me You," which is a great song, and we've had a lot of great luck with it. And Randy Travis graced us with his
Wait just a
presence.
second. I don't think they heard that. Randy Travis. and he was sitting right over there, like where you guys are sitting, right there. That's where Randy Travis was sitting, watching Scott Brown and Josh Ward sing.
Just sitting back, like he was one of us, one of the fans, and I'm up there just freaking out. Scott's freaking out, and like Kyle said, he was freaking out too. But he got up there, and what did we do that night? What song was
he
that?
He played "Digging Up Bones."
Yeah.
And he played "Honky Tonk Moon."
Honky tonk moon, keep shining on my baby.
See, and that's the thing. Like, he came up there and sang, and you were up there singing. And the point that I wanted to make with that whole story is, #1, I almost feel like that this barn was built for that kind of country music.
Wow.
And then second thing, man, that's what you bring to the table. You bring to the table that kind of country music, and in my opinion, there's not enough of it. And I think we can see, as you're traveling outside the state into other places, with the number of people that are discovering you and coming to see you, is that people are hungry for the kind of country music that you make.
It's for us, it's a treat. I mean, every time that we show up, and we are country, that's all we've ever played, right? So, but whenever we show up to California or the Midwest, and these people are just welcoming us with open arms, and we love your kind of music, I was like, I knew it'd sell again someday.
Just let them screw it up long enough, and then it's like the new Coke, old Coke thing, right? Put new Coke out for a while, and they'll want the old Coke. Well, I want to ask you about another song of yours that went #1 off of the Holding Me Together record, and it's a song that your buddy Cody Johnson wrote called "Broken Heart."
Yeah.
Tell us about picking that song and play that one for us.
So, me and Cody, this was one of his second sold-out shows. We were playing in Waco, Texas, at Wild West, and I was on the bill with him. And he said instead of riding the bus, he said, I got my pickup truck. The boys were in the bus, but he was still in his pickup. And he said, why don't you ride up to Nacogdoches with me? I said, all right. We ain't sat down and ate dinner for a long time or hung out. And me and him's going down the road, tootling along, listening to songs he was putting on his record, and back and forth. And he said, "If I ever pitched you a song, would you cut it?" And I was like, it's kind of taken back a little bit. I was like, Cody Johnson song, yeah, heck, why not? I'm just kidding. No, man, Cody's a great friend of mine, and he offered up this song and said, man, I just think it's you. And it was. From the word go, when I heard it, I was like, actually the words were, here's the song that I forgot that I wrote. And I was like, I'll take it.
There you go. There you go.
But yeah, Broken Heart, I mean, we had a #1 with it, and got to celebrate it with one of my brothers of the road, and couldn't be more happy about it. So,
Well, here's Josh Ward with Broken Heart.
y'all sing along if you want to. What's a cowboy supposed to do when a cowboy ain't supposed to cry? There's gotta be a beer somewhere that needs a tear when you just can't keep it all inside. So everywhere I go, just ain't my kind of vibe. But folks are having fun, man, it must be nice. Come on, 'cause I'm the only one with a broken heart. I ain't found another sad soul so far. Everybody must be doing fine, 'cause I'm in a rut, they're stuck in party time. All I wanna do is turn my radio on, reset the clock and hear a sad country song. But I'm just looking for a place to fall apart. Guess I'm the only one with a broken heart. Nothing quite goes with a fool sitting on a stool like burning whiskey over ice. And I wouldn't feel like such a fool if she fooled me once, man, she fooled me twice. Said everywhere I go, just can't seem to find neon lights and smoke. Damn, it don't feel right. Yes, I'm the only one with a broken heart. I ain't found another sad soul so far. Everybody must be doing fine, 'cause I'm in a rut, you're stuck in party time. All I wanna do is turn my radio on, reset the clock and hear a sad country song. But I'm just looking for a place to fall apart. Guess I'm the only one with a broken heart. Just can't seem to find a place to fall apart. Guess I'm the only one with a broken heart. Bet I am. Thank you so much. The boys in the van, y'all.
I feel like I'm hiding the steel guitar player. Do y'all see that back there? There's a steel guitar player on the stage tonight, which makes this extra country.
From Seguin, Texas, everybody. My long-haired friend of Jesus, Cody Angel, everybody.
It's just a funny-looking piano. It's not that cool.
His has keys and his has strings.
Well, you sound great. The whole band sounds good. Even that guy back there sitting on the box that keeps handing you beer.
He gets paid the big bucks.
All right, so one of the things, Josh, obviously we've had the opportunity to watch your career from the very beginning to where you are now. And I imagine that it would be hard to find it any more evident than in the video for the song off of the More Than I Deserve record. And the song is the #1 cut called All About Lovin'. And if you've seen that video yet, you have seen this guy has started playing to some mammoth-sized crowds. And one of the things that I want to ask you is, you know, you've played everywhere around here, right? And you've played when the place is full like it is tonight, and you've played when there were 10 people in here and 8 of them worked at the place, right? Because we've all done that, all right? So where has there been a place recently where you walked out on stage and it took your breath away, where you just went, I cannot believe that there are this many people here?
Well, obviously tonight we love you guys. Thank you for being here. But I just got to play Billy Bob's, Texas, the world's largest honky-tonk, and see some familiar faces here. And everybody showed up, man. That was you live your life playing this music, and you get to go play a legendary place like that and have your name put on the wall. That was pretty big to me. So, and the people, man. I mean, everybody was up front, just like this. It was like family, you know. I mean, nobody was eating dinner, but you know, they was hanging out. But man, it was awesome. Got to record it live in a live DVD that will probably be out in about a year. So, me and the boys, they put in a lot of hard work and practice and made the show what it was. So that was mind-blowing to me. I was nervous, like as a cat on a hot tin roof.
That's awesome. I did tell you guys that this show is going to be edited for rebroadcast, right? All except for the video podcast. You'll see there's a bunch of video cameras set up around, and in the video podcast, you get to see all our mistakes and everything. But I am going to say to monitors back here, we got, I don't know if it's Josh about to take off a little bit on the high end, or me, but that'll show up in San Luis Obispo, and they'll be pissed. So I don't want to, let's get rid of that. Okay, so you want to play that song for us? Tell us about the title cut, because, man, there's some new guys you started hanging with and writing songs with and selecting songs from, not the least of which was a 90s country icon named Terry McBride from McBride and the Ride. Do y'all remember that group?
That guy's amazing. I cannot say enough about Terry, Brother McBride. He you know, he was another one that just kind of opened up his wing and said, "Hey, brother, I got you," and sent me a lot of songs whenever we were diving into this record. And a manager called him up and he said, "Brother Terry," he said, "Josh getting ready to do a record." He goes, "Really? Let me send you some." He said, "Do you got anything tucked away underneath your pillow?" He said, "I'll be right with you." So
there you go.
He sent me a string of songs, and this was one of them. And I did ask Terry McBride, I said, you know, next time you do send me a song, please don't sing the demo. And he said, "Well, why not?" And I said, "Brother, you have no idea how hard it is following you." So, but we got this cut, and Terry and Bryce Long and Chris Stapleton are writers on this song. And you know, Chris Stapleton, he's a pretty big deal, you know.
Pretty big deal.
So I haven't met him yet. I hadn't talked to him yet, but I got to cut one of his songs he wrote on. So we're starting somewhere.
I don't know him, but I bet if he heard this version of it, he'd be proud. So.
Well, I had to follow him too. He did the demo, and I asked Terry. I said, "Tell Chris not to sing on any more stuff either." So, but no, it's a fun-loving song. You know, summertime was just heating up when the song came out. And this has been one of our fastest rising songs.
Yeah, first number one off the new record.
First number one off the new record, and it flew up the chart.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Whoa, hang on, slow down a little bit, come on back." But it's a great song, man. A lot of great writers on it. And I always ask, how many of you old boys in here, y'all know who I'm talking about, ever went down to the river with a bottle of screw top wine and slid that back glass open up on that Chevrolet and said, "Mama, you ready to party? Come on." Oh, I'm getting all kinds of looks in here. The women's blushing, turning red. This is videoed, right?
We got it all.
We got it all. The Garner State Park, right over here. All right, well, let's play them All About Lovin', boys. 17. I think you know what I mean. Baby, let's go take a drive. Do the things we used to do on Saturday night. 'Cause it's all about love, all about love, all about holding you tight. And it's all about kissing, thinking about love, all about loving tonight. We'll go parking my old truck. Baby, steam, the wind is up. Let's go lose all track of time. 'Cause if we see the sun come up, nobody would mind. 'Cause it's all about love, all about love, all about holding you tight. And it's all about kissing, thinking about love, all about loving tonight. Mr. Woody Woodruff, y'all. We got moonlight, we got moonshine, we got radio. It just feels right, so come on, let's go. It's all about love, all about hugging, all about holding you tight. And it's all about kissing, thinking about love, all about loving tonight. It's all about love, all about love, all about holding you tight. And it's all about kissing, thinking about love, all about loving tonight. Come on. Thank you so much. Our last number one.
Man, Josh, that's a great song.
Thank
well,
you.
In addition to, just some amazing song selections that you picked for the newest record, More Than I Deserve, you also included a few that you helped pen, and I want to ask you about one of them right now called A Cowboy Can. Tell us a little bit about that one. Play that song.
So, a friend of mine, Wyatt McCubbin, out of Selma, Ohio, he is a heck of a songwriter, heck of an artist, great guy. If you get a chance, by all means, please, y'all go check him out. He and I flew up to Selma, and he said, come on up here and ride a few days. I got a little cabin we can kind of get away in. And everything was right. We didn't force anything. It just came out. And it was one of those things of the snow was 3 feet high outside. Everything looked like a Hallmark postcard. We had a bottle of whiskey stuck down in the snow. That kind of deal, you know. We go over there and stoke the old potbelly stove up. We go write music, you know, the way it should be. And I told him, I said, man, I've never really written a cowboy song myself, and that's what we do. I mean, we rodeo on our family, and we run a little bit of cows every once in a while when we can. But it was one of those things that I wanted to write that personal song too, and tie them all together. And he said, I got the title. I said, all right. He said, Cowboy Can. I said, I hate it. I said, I'm going to go get in the shower, and I'm going to come back, and we're going to finish this thing up. And I get out of the shower, and he goes, hey, check this out. And it was one of those songs that was written in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
You know, he said, sit down and tell me about yourself. You know, what would you do? And I kind of took the approach of the song about whether you're a cowboy or whether you work in an oil field or in an office, whatever guy gets up every morning, or music, whatever guy gets up every morning and slings that saddle on and beats that nail down every day, that's what this song's about. So I fell in love with it. It was one that I got to put my little stamp on, and we'd love to play it for you. So any of y'all out there got pretty good grit to you, this song goes out to you. Not many folks could talk this talk, let alone show up and walk the walk. Grab a hold of that rope with a hand in your hair, or strap a guitar on. Most folks jump off when times get tough, but you don't get this way from backing up. Not everyone can hang on tight, but a cowboy can. A cowboy can, a real cowboy will. Turn his collar up high, with his back to the wind, slang that saddle on again. Get cold, but the highway never ends. Not many folks can live this life, but a cowboy can. I wouldn't wish this on a faint of heart, 'cause I know it ain't for everyone. Some folks might try to look the part, but we don't do this just for fun. It's every part of who I am. I've got no quit running through my veins. It ain't an easy way to make the buck, that's for sure. But at the end of the day, cowboy can, a real cowboy will. Turn his collar up high, with his back to the wind, slang that saddle on again. When the nights get cold, the highway never ends. Not many folks could live this life, but a cowboy can. I'll play it pretty for 'em, boys. When the nights get cold, the highway never ends. Not many folks can live this life, but a cowboy can. Thank you, everybody.
Yeah.
Thank y'all.
Well, you got a almost a 12-year-old cowboy up there that can relate to that song, huh?
Yes, sir.
What's he out there doing, trying to follow in your footsteps?
Oh man, I can tell him all the don'ts. So, but yeah, he's turning out to be a heck of a hand. He's rodeoing full time now and trying to go for it, make a go at it, and he's doing really, really good. Something that I didn't teach him anything about. I have taught him, number one, treat you women good and stay off bucking horses. So. He's got one of them right. He's trying to do the other one. So, But yeah, I got him up there, and I got my oldest over there. She's going to college this year to Texas State University, and very proud of both of them. So she finally got home off of all of her adventures just to come home and see me one day before I get on the road and start back. So love you.
Go ahead. Aww. We knew it was going to be a hometown night tonight. That's for
Oh,
sure.
yeah.
Everybody came home to see you.
Everybody done come out the woodwork.
Well, you know, Josh, one thing that I really appreciate about you when you're making a record is it seems like there's not a lot of, you don't have a lot of ego in your song selection, because there's just as many, if not more, songs on your records that you didn't write than songs that you wrote, at least on the past few. And what that tells me is you're just looking for a good song. And what I want to know is what makes a song good to Josh Ward.
Well, I mean, and you're right. And I've always been this way. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love to write a song and get in where I fit in with the great writers as yourself, and you know, many of the others. I mean, I want to stick that feather in my cap too. But when a song's a good song, it needs to be heard. And man, to me, I mean, if it pulls on the heartstrings or makes me think of a memory, or you know, something to that, if it hits me on a personal level, I'm like, man, if it does that to me, what happens when I play you that song, or you know, the next guy down the road, he's got his own story about that song. I mean, a lot of stuff's personal to me.
Yeah.
Everything's good on the home front, everybody. But I do like writing songs and singing songs about cheating and drinking and the good songs.
So tell me about, what was it that grabbed you about the song on the new record, More Than I Deserve, Home Away From Home?
Oh, man. Everybody's got their favorite watering hole, their old beer joint they hang out at, don't they? Some of it might be the cab of your own pickup truck on the way home with a 16-ounce tall boy. But my deal is I related to this song because it's real, man. I mean, Home Away From Home is one of those that I've lived in that beer joint. I grew up in that beer joint, sitting on the bar, probably in a pair of Huggies diapers. Not recently. Earlier on in life, holding a can of Schlitz beer, watching Mama play darts or whatever.
Yeah.
So I really related to this song. It's just a fun honky-tonk song about going to your favorite beer joint and her sometimes pulling you away and you missing it. So here we go, boys. Y'all want to get loud and rowdy like a honky-tonk tonight? Next door on a bar stool asked me where the hell have I been all day. Trained my girl the job the boss
Yeah.
Me and the boys like to have fun up here too, so. Hello, everybody up there and back behind us. I mean, we love y'all too.
So growing up in Montgomery, living in Montgomery, what were your home away from homes around here where we might find Josh Ward? Maybe when he was in trouble and should have been home but wasn't.
Well, yeah, there is. When
I heard Dobbin Saloon.
Dobbin Saloon, yes. I've shed many a drinks in there. Sundance. Let me ask you a question, being that was how many of y'all ever been to Sundance? That was probably one of the coolest little places there ever was. It was BYOB, and there wasn't no age group to get in there. It wasn't 21 and up, 18 and up. You just showed up.
Yeah.
And had your uncle or your cousin bring your ice chest in for you. And how many of y'all hung out back there by the widescreen TV? All right, that's enough talk about that.
But it brings me to the next song I want to ask you about.
Lord.
It was a song on Holding Me Together. It's one of my favorite ones on this record called Whiskey and Whitley.
That was one of my favorite songs off of the Holding Me Together record. I had been a fan of one of the writers on that song for a long time, Kevin Denny. There was Kevin Denny, Buddy Owens was another writer on that song, and I believe Martin Earmore was the other one. And I had been listening to Kevin earlier on, and I heard this song on a demo probably 12 years ago. Well, a little later than 12 years ago, because he was toddling around in the office whenever I heard the song. And I was like, man, Whiskey and Whitley. I mean, that title. I mean, Whitley was one of my just... If you say Whitley, Merle Haggard, George Jones, I mean, I'm in. So, anyways, I love the song. I was up in Nashville writing, and we'll get it fixed, I promise. I don't know where it's coming from, but
They found it. They got it.
They
They're
found it. But I was up in Nashville writing, and I had run into a writer buddy of mine and said, hey, Daryl Singletary's playing in town. And I was like, well, shoot, we're writing. I mean, let's go watch the show. And showed up and got in there, and he's about 3 songs from the end. He said, I'm going to do a few more and let my buddy KD get up here and sing. And here come Kevin Denny walking down through the crowd, and I was like, check, check. Got to see both my favorites. And I was standing beside this guy in a cap, toboggan and a sailor's jacket. And I asked him, I said, I see you good buddies with Kevin. You mind if I bought him a beer, you figure he'd play Whiskey and Whitley? He said, I bet you would. So I bought the beer and walked up and made my request. And after the song was done, the gentleman asked me, he said, you here writing for your record? And I said, yes, sir. And man, I sure would like to cut that song. He said, well, if you like it that much, cut it. And I looked at him, I said, who are you? He said, my name is Buddy Owens. I was one of the writers on that song right there, and I about hit the floor. And I said, well, all right. And it was a running joke between me and Booth, Jody Booth.
Yep.
Because he wanted to cut the song too, and I said, no, you ain't going to do it. So on a cold Nashville sidewalk, I walked out there and dialed that number up and went, hey, buddy, sorry about your bad luck. I got it straight out of the horse's mouth. I'm cutting Whiskey and Whitley. Bye. But that's the backstory about Whiskey and Whitley. I mean, this is what this thing's about, telling stories about songs. And a lot of times when me and the guys are on the road, we don't get to do this.
Yeah.
So with that being said, there ain't nothing wrong with a little Whiskey and Whitley tonight, is there? That girl burned me about as fast as I'm burning these Winstons. She took my reason for living, and then some. Everyone tells me that I'm gonna be fine. This heartache will give in if I just give it time. They mean well, they don't know they're going through. It's gonna take whiskey and Whitley to get me over. Since I'm no stranger to the rain, guess I'll start without it first. I'm gonna hold up somewhere, crawl out a fence with that worn out CD of his greatest hits. It's gonna take whiskey and Whitley to get me over her. A double shot of Tennessee courage helps me not to remember that I ain't shaved in 3 days. I ain't been going around there. Wish I could sing home to I'm over you, but that's a far cry from the truth. To my Kentucky bluebird, does a Birmingham turn round? It's gonna take whiskey and Whitley to get me over her. Since I'm no stranger to the rain, guess I'll start without it first. I'm gonna hold up somewhere, crawl a fence with that worn out CD of his greatest hits. It's gonna take whiskey and Whitley to get me over her. I'm gonna hold up somewhere, crawl out a fence, play them old hurting songs they don't right where it hit. It's gonna take whiskey and Whitley to get me over her. It's gonna take whiskey and Whitley to get me over Thanks, everybody.
Yeah. All right. While y'all are warmed up, okay, while the crowd is warmed up, I need you to do something for me. We need you to be active participants for a minute here. Josh, I need you to do a liner to kick off the radio show and our podcast, our video podcast. So this is what I need from Josh. This is Josh Ward, and this is Real Life, Real Music. And then I need you guys to go absolutely nuts. Can y'all do that? Okay, but we got to be real quiet because it's like we're sneaking up on them in San Luis Obispo, California. Okay, so here we go.
This is Josh Ward, and this is Real Life, Real Music.
Man, that was great.
I love y'all too. Y'all getting loud up in here tonight, boy.
This is great. All right, I want to ask you a question. This new record, the newest studio record, More Than I Deserve, I've seen in more than one interview that you've given where you've said, if something ain't broke, don't fix it.
That's right.
And I'll tell you this, whatever the formula is that you're making records up in East Texas, it ain't broke. But tell us what it is. Tell us who you're making these records with, and then I'm going to pick another one off of this one.
Well, good friends of ours up in Rosewood, in Tyler, Texas, Rosewood Studios. Greg Hunt, Drew Hall, and all the staff up there. That's where we cut our records at, man. And it's kind of one of those things where you find yourself in a homey situation. Like, man, when I walk in here, I grab a pot of coffee and go into the control room, and it ain't work. You just show up and you go, here it is. And we put it all together, and all of a sudden we just catch this animal in this bottle, and it's like, all right, hold him there for a minute.
Yeah.
But we make some good music up there in East Texas, and my hat's off to Greg and all those boys up there that work so hard on it. And then getting to come back, and I can honestly say, getting to give it to one of the hottest bands in Texas right now. So they work their butts off on it, and they've honed their craft and really know what to do with it. And all I got to do is sit up here and look pretty. They do all the work, man. So.
Well, another song that you put on this record that you just finished up at Rosewood is another Terry McBride song called "Say Hello to Goodbye."
Yeah. That was one of those that I was like, man, I wish Terry hadn't sang on this one. But, man, it's like I said, I'm a sucker for a sad song. And I think those are some of the best songs there is. You can have your fun-loving songs that, your girlfriend likes, but I like a sad song. But this is one of them. Terry was gracious enough to send it on down the pipe to me, and I'm glad we cut it. So, song called "Say Hello to Goodbye." What'd you do? You had it all. Like a fool, you let it fall. You lost it all. I hope you had some fun. Now you're sitting here, drowning in a double shot of what might have been. Let me tell you, friend, it's only just begun. And while you're asking yourself why, say hello to goodbye. Yeah, I'd like to introduce you to lonesome days and lonely nights. I guess you'll have to get used to all those tears in your eyes. Say hello to goodbye. I hope you mind waking up, staring there at your coffee cup as the sun comes up on your table for one. 'Cause now all you got is time. Say hello to goodbye. Yeah, I'd like to introduce you to lonesome days and lonely nights. introduce you to lonesome days and lonely nights. I guess you'll have to get used to all those tears in your eyes. Say hello to goodbye. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Thank you.
So let's back it up one on the record. You had no shortage of heavy hitter writers contributing to this. Mr. Brett Beavers was one of the writers on this
Yeah.
song called "Ain't It Baby."
Yeah, he's another one that surprised me. My good buddy, my Uncle Steve back here on the bass guitar from Eddy, Texas, said, I got this thumb drive full of 500 songs. We fixing to listen to it. Well, yeah. Were we drinking? Of course. But we sat down and me and the boys just went through and went, man, that's a good one. No, that one don't fit me. And this one's a great one. And it happened to be one of Beaver's. And it's amazing how small of a music world we live in. To go, man, that's a Beaver song right there. That's cool. So got a hold of them and chain of command kind of deal. And I like cutting songs that the girls like.
You're a smart man.
There ain't nothing wrong with that, right? The girls are like, mm-hmm. and I cut songs that make my wife happy too. So, but yeah, this one, do what? Oh, okay. But yeah, man, this song right here was just one of them fun songs. I mean, let's cut it and see where it goes. And girls fell in love with it, and they started buying tickets, and the guys had to show up. So, but it's called "Ain't It Baby." What you think about it, boy? That's a once in a lifetime sky shining down on us tonight. Ain't it, baby? Thank you so much.
So are y'all having a good time so far tonight? Everybody doing all right? We just want to check on you every once in a while. I told you I was going to tell you just a little bit about our corporate sponsor. This is kind of my Porter Wagner moment here at the Grand Ole Opry, where I talk about the folks that help us make this possible. Number one, that's Do-Si-Do. So y'all please tip your waiters and bartenders and stuff tonight. And then, since this is a hometown show, I'm going to take for granted that a lot of you are from right around this area. And I don't know if you've seen what's happened to the prices of real estate anywhere in the Woodlands, Magnolia, Montgomery, Anderson. You going up towards College Station. And, man, property values are just going up and up and up. And it's hard to know whether to sell, because if you sell, you got to go buy somewhere. And we have some experts right here tonight that are big fans of Josh Ward, and they're big enough fans of what we do here at Real Life Real Music to take some of the money they make in this community and put it back into stuff like this in the community. And so if you want to know what your house is worth, if you want to try to find some land or a place around here, they helped us find 2.5 acres that wasn't even on the market right near 2978 and 1488. And you know that's no easy feat. So check out our sponsors, the Texas Rockstar Realty Group. You can find them on Facebook or online. There's even a couple of pretty representatives right back here. Y'all wave your hands one more time. Y'all give them a round of applause. Thank you for helping us make tonight's like this.
Thank y'all very much.
Nights like this possible. All right, now, you know all about corporate sponsors, because here's what I want to say. Your biggest song to date online has not been a number one in Texas.
That wasn't me, I promise.
Your biggest song to date is a song that got picked up by a major show that's broadcast on Netflix. It's called The Ranch, I think is the name of it.
We got some Ranch fans in here tonight.
Got some Ranch fans. And here's the thing. This is what happens when a piece of art finds its way into a corporate connection, is it reaches a much bigger audience than it would have without. Tell us a little bit about that.
I mean, I don't know how they got it, to be honest with you guys. They just found it. So, you know, to be picked up by Netflix and a song that was on my record, I mean, all I ever wanted to do was play guitar and sing a song. I never thought about our music being played on a worldwide television show. And it was kind of cool because I'm a fan of, kind of cool, it was real damn cool, but I'm a fan of the show anyways. I mean, you put Sam Elliott in there and they got that old mustache kicking, and he's asking Ashton Kutcher, you know, what in the hell are Uggs? But, you know, it's Sissy Spacey. Get in the truck, Sissy.
Come on.
How many of y'all remember that movie? But I was like, man, this is pretty dadgum cool to have this song on there, and it was a sentimental song to me. Meant the world. Look at that. We have gifts. I knew somebody was gonna start bringing those up, and that's fine with me. But let me get finished telling you about this song. I wrote this song about my wife, and it wasn't supposed to come out that way, but it did. And I played it for her, and she goes, "Oh my God, did you write a song about me?" And I was like, "Mm-hmm. You damn right I did." And she stuck with me a few more years. But it's one of my favorites besides Whiskey and Whitley off the record. And I always say it's our 2018 love song of the year, because right about that time that Rooster was going to kiss his girlfriend on the porch, they played this song right here, and it's called Together. I'd love to play it for you guys. There's a lot about me that you don't know. There's a whole lot of things that I don't show. But you can tell when something's weighing on my mind. You always find a way to make things right. Oh, but girl, you got me pouring my heart out tonight. You're the rock to wrap my arms around, my true north when I'm headed south, the lighthouse in my darkest harbor. When I think it couldn't get any harder, you calm the seas when the waves get rough. I'm sinking down, you lift me up, give me shelter in the stormy weather. Even when I'm holding you, you're holding me together. I won't lay my burdens down on your back for you to carry around. Girl, I hope that you understand. That's just a part of me being this man, girl. Oh, but girl, you got me pouring my heart out tonight. So you're the rock to wrap my arms around, my true north when I'm headed south, lighthouse in my darkest harbor. When I think it couldn't get any harder, you calm the seas when the waves get rough. I'm sinking down, you lift me up, give me shelter in the stormy weather. Even when I'm holding you, you're holding me together. Show me every day, I love it more when I hear you sing. You're the rock to wrap my arms around, my true north when I'm headed south, the lighthouse in my darkest harbor. When I think it couldn't get any harder, you calm the seas when the waves get rough. Singing down, you lift me up, give me shelter in the stormy weather. Even when I'm holding you, you're holding me together. Holding me together. Thanks, everybody. So if y'all wondering why I close my eyes a lot, it's kind of getting into it. You know what I mean? I'm hearing this old room breathe, man, and it's like 200 and something. Is it 200 years old?
How old is this barn now, Gabe?
How old is it? 1850s.
Well, do the math, man. How many years is that?
How much? 175-year-old barn. I don't know if y'all understand whenever y'all hear me say something about you hear it breathing or you hear it talking to you. It's talking to us right now. So whenever you get to play a room like this, it's a treat, man. I mean, there ain't another one like this. I couldn't tell you where it was at, but we're here tonight and we appreciate y'all having us. So cheers, everybody.
Cheers. Whoa.
Sorry, they brought the whiskey out. And we're still keeping it PG.
I can't resist the shameless plug watching you take that whiskey shot, though. I just, me and your friend Jody Booth and our friend Tim Nichols, we just got the new Corey Morrow cut that's out right now called Whiskey Goes Down Easier Than Pride.
Yeah.
So if you hadn't heard Whiskey and Pride yet, you need to go, by Corey Morrow, you need to go check it out.
That's, well, you're sitting in a realm of them right there, ain't you?
Some good writers.
Well, they were sitting amongst you, too. So.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Mr. Kyle Hutton, everybody.
Thank you.
Yeah, hell yeah, play us a song.
Thank you. I thought you'd never ask. Thank you very much.
Are y'all having a good time in here tonight? I tell you what, you made me and the boys week. This is a great way to start a good road trip. Thank y'all. Ooh-wee. All right, now I get to sit back and ask you questions.
Yes, you do. Kevin, will you give me a little bit more of my vocal on the monitor, just a tad? My dad was that's perfect, was a very wise man, and he introduced me to John Wayne movies at a very young age, which is a good thing. And I have to say one of my favorite ones was, of course, when he played the coonskin cap-wearing legend Davy Crockett in the Alamo. And I wasn't much for school. I didn't enjoy it until I got in 7th grade Texas history and we started studying the Alamo. And then I thought I finally could sink my teeth into this school thing. And my favorite piece of literature to come out of that time period was the letter that William Barrett Travis wrote from the Alamo, where he said, "Dear citizens and compatriots, I beseech you with all dispatch to come to our aid." And I don't know the whole thing, that's all I know. But at the end
I didn't
of
get
it,
that far.
at the end of it, he says, "Victory or death, William Barrett Travis." And I always thought that was the end of it. But if you go home and Google this, if you didn't already know it, William Barrett Travis put a P.S. on that letter. And I was walking, this was in the period PB, which is pre-Buc-ee's. I was walking through Woody's Smokehouse, headed to the little boys' room.
Yeah, we prefer going to Woody's too.
And I looked on the wall, and there, by God, was a copy of William Barrett Travis's letter. And just for old time's sake, I stood there and I read it, and I got down to the bottom, and there was a P.S. on that letter. And first I looked to see if somebody had handwritten it in there or something, because I didn't know anything about it. And it said, "P.S., and this is my version of it, P.S., the Lord provides. When we got within the walls, there were but 20 to 30 bushels of wheat, and since then we found 80 to 90 in nearby farms, and gotten into the walls 20 to 30 heads of beeves." And I thought, okay, it's February, it's cold, I'm away from my family, I'm surrounded by the Mexican army, and I hadn't had a good meal in a while. And all of a sudden the gates open and 20 head of Nolan Ryan grade A beef come walking through the front of the Alamo. I thought, there was a Last Supper at the Alamo.
He said, "Let there be beef."
And I don't know what the Last Supper at the Alamo looked like, but it might have looked something like this. The smell of frijoles and fresh corn tortillas floating over the old mission wall can seem just as cruel to a man who ain't eaten as a 15-pound lead cannonball. Now you can imagine the rile and the ruckus erupted that late winter day, when the break in the battle saw 20 head of cattle driven straight through the south gate. Well, some men started cheering and some started crying, and I just looked on in dismay until Billy punched me in my left shoulder, and I heard one of those Tennessee volunteers say, "It's a feast of kings tonight. The Lord provides. Yeah, we might be with them tomorrow, or we just might get out alive. Well, the cannons will ring in the sunlight, so tonight let's drink the good wine. Yeah, it's powder and blood in the morning, but it's a feast of kings tonight." Well, Jimbo is giving hell to old Cookie. He said mine better be medium rare. Yeah, and Crockett's still cleaning his musket. He's so hungry tonight that he doesn't care. And Travis just finished his letter. He's got a faraway look in his eyes, and I offer thanks at the table. Thanks for our children, and thanks for our wives. At the Feast of Kings tonight, the Lord provides. Yeah, we might be with them tomorrow, or we might just get out alive. Well, the cannons will ring in the sunlight, so tonight let's drink the good wine. Yeah, it's powder and blood in the morning, but it's a feast of kings tonight. Well, there's a silence tonight that echoes the courtyard, and every man's had his fill. Well, I don't know that I've tasted anything better, and I don't know that I ever will. Thank you. Thanks. Thank you very much. Thanks, Dad, for making me watch John Wayne movies. What do you want to play for us, man? I've been leading you all over the place. Why don't you pick one you want to lay on us?
Wait.
Uh-oh, here it comes. We're strategizing up here, folks. Hang on. It's going to be a big ending. You don't want to miss it. Hang tight.
So, Wyatt McCubbin introduced me to this song right here. It was kind of one of those songs of, when I heard it, it hit me in the mouth kind of thing. And I don't know if y'all have ever sat on a front pew of a church house and had that preacher point that Bible at you and said, if you don't get it together tonight, I guarantee you the devil's coming to get you. And that, I'm telling you what, as a young man, that scared the hell out of me. Made me straighten up for about 3 days. And anyways,
You made it till Wednesday, huh?
I made it till Wednesday, yeah. But Wyatt sent me this song here, and it just kind of spoke to me, and it's one of my favorites off this record right here, and a lot of other folks too. So we'd like to play it for you. It's called "The Devil Don't Scare Me." Preacher used to preach about fire and brimstone. I was shaking in the shoes in the pew I sat on, 12 years old, afraid of where I'd go. 10 years later, wondering how I got here, where neon burns and they sell cold beer. Heaven seems so far away. But ever since the night she left me, ain't a damn thing that can help me. I've tried praying, I've tried whiskey, living hell wishing she'd miss me. Though I ain't afraid to die, 'cause I lost the one thing I was living for. Now the devil don't scare me anymore. Thunder in the sky used to get my attention. Now when lightning strikes, only gets me wishing that it struck me. But I ain't that lucky. A curve in the road used to slow me down. Now I'm 90 miles an hour, 2 wheels off the ground. It can't hurt me now. Ever since the night she left me, ain't a damn thing that can help me. I've tried praying, I've tried whiskey, living hell wishing she'd miss me. Though I ain't afraid to die, 'cause I lost the one thing I was living for. Now the devil don't scare me anymore. Though I ain't afraid to die, 'cause I lost the one thing I was living for. The devil don't scare me anymore. The devil don't scare me anymore. The devil don't scare me. Do-si-do, why don't you give it up for the boys in the band, y'all?
Yeah.
That was the editor's cut right there. That's what y'all didn't get on the record, so we went ahead and played it for you.
Come on. Speaking of records, for all of you, well, I don't know, young people that might not know what this is a record. And guess what? We got records here tonight. You can get a copy of More Than I Deserve on vinyl with a picture bigger than you ever thought you'd have of Josh Ward on your wall. Right there.
I wanna send a shout out to good friends of ours, Craig and Wendy Boyd, for letting us do this photo shoot at their house. He's got this old Lincoln that was like the presidential Lincoln, old rag top and that kind of deal. And he said, "What do you think about putting old Sue Ellen out there?" That's what he calls her, Sue Ellen. And I was like, absolutely, I'd love to take a picture in your car. So Craig and Wendy Boyd, we love you guys. Thank you for sharing your place and letting me take an awesome photo shoot that I'll probably never top again.
Man. Well, let me ask you this, Josh. Well, first off, obviously, folks, you can find out everything you want to find out about Josh Ward and his music at joshward.com. You can stream these songs on Spotify. You can download them at Apple Music. You can listen to them on Apple. Stream them on Apple Music. But are you going to hang out over at the merch table tonight? Because that's the best way to meet your favorite artists is right over here.
You know what? There's never been a time that I haven't never went to merchandise. I honestly think that me staying humble like I have been and staying there till the last person's gone, that's the way you do a show. Just because the music stops don't mean the show's over. The show's over when the gate on the trailer closes. So
there you go.
Y'all come over there and see us, and we'd love to shake your hand and hug your neck and tell you how much we appreciate y'all coming out.
Well, I'm going to tell you how much fun I had tonight. I don't know if you saw me in that last song, but I took a selfie with me and the steel guitar player back here. So this has been a fun night for me.
Cody's always famous,
yeah,
man.
You sound great back there,
Don't
man.
tag.
Come on. Well, hey, have y'all had a good time tonight? That's what I want to know.
Thank y'all. We have too, I can honestly tell you. It's better than the last one.
What do you want to take us home with tonight, Josh?
What you think, boys? Little let's do the last. Here it comes. Somebody in the back's gonna yell "Freebird" here in a minute. Let's do them a song that a friend of mine, Dusty Newman, wrote for the record. We just had a number one. That was our last number one on the Together record, and Dusty graced us with his presence over the weekend down in Amarillo, Texas, or I say up in Amarillo, Texas. And he got up and sang this song with me, so we always end the show this way, but hey, don't go nowhere. Y'all stick around. Me and the boys might jam a little bit. So here we go, boys. Ladies, where you at tonight? Make some noise. Well, I saw you standing there from across the room. So I made my way through the smoking chairs and the cheap perfume. Is it the whiskey or your spell that I'm under? Well, as you flash those eyes my way, I can't help but wonder, what's a girl like you doing here all alone? Do you dance? Can I buy you Do-si-do on steel guitar for you tonight. Seguin, Texas, my good friend, Mr. Cody Angel, y'all. Steve Cargill on bass guitar. Dusty Cognito on drums. Houston's own Mr. Travis Bishop on keys. Mr. Woodruff on lead guitar. My name is Josh Ward. God bless every single one of y'all in here. We love you. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Josh Ward.
Mr. Kyle Hunt and the boys in the band, yeah.